Happening now, the latest after a man fell from a high-rise building in Jamestown this morning. Plus, a federal judge just ruling against New York's vaccine mandate for healthcare workers.
Well, we're going to get close to a record breaker in terms of temperatures today. We'll talk about how warm it will get. Plus, is there any rain in sight? Coming up next as the news at noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now. This is WNY News Now with live breaking news.
First responders flooded a senior housing complex in Jamestown this morning after a man fell from an upper floor balcony. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould, and we start with live breaking news. It happened around 9:30 when the calls first came in that a person fell onto the lower roof of the 5th Street side of the high-rise senior apartment complex. Officers on scene said that the victim was still breathing when they arrived and that he was taken to UPMC Chautauqua Hospital via All-Star ambulance. It's still unclear the condition of the person who fell or the reasonings of why they fell. Police still investigating at this hour. We, of course, will continue to follow this story for updates and post them online at our website, WNYNewsNow.com. And this also just in, a federal judge ruled today that New York State must allow religious exemptions from the COVID-19 vaccine mandate for their healthcare workers. Previously, there was a temporary restraining order after dozens of healthcare workers filed a lawsuit saying that their rights would be violated if the mandate did not have religious exemptions. Governor Kathy Hochul had previously stated that she believed the suit would not hold up in court and has not commented on the new ruling yet. Over the past 2 weeks, dozens of people from across Chautauqua County have protested the mandate, including several nurses and doctors at UPMC Chautauqua Hospital who lost their job because of it. The group of protesters has called on Chautauqua County government to take a stand against the state, drafting legislation to protect the county from future state mandates. Well, breakthrough cases of COVID-19 are starting to climb in our region. They now account for more than 1 in 4 of all COVID-related hospitalizations. UPMC Hammett officials say they're seeing the same trend here as breakthrough cases rise. Lisa Adams with our news partner WNY News Now has more on what health experts are saying.
I think we're having a lot of virus circulating. We're not wearing our masks as much.
So how does a breakthrough case present and what leads to hospitalization?
You know, the presentation is different for everyone. We are still seeing those major symptoms: cough, shortness of breath. We're seeing people that need hospitalization usually require that because their respiratory status is declining. So they need oxygen or they need other support. That's bringing them to the hospital.
Climbing cases, including those among the vaccinated, are spurring people to take action. A UPMC Hammett vaccine clinic Monday fully booked with about 300 people, some getting vaccines for the first time, others getting their Pfizer boosters if eligible. And COVID-19 testing is on the rise again. This LECOM pop-up test vehicle parked outside Blasco Library had steady visitors getting rapid tests with 15-minute results.
I think if you're vaccinated and have any symptoms, people now are more likely to come, and they are. I think they're worried.
What UPMC Hammett wants you to know is that the basic advice to get vaccinated and wear a mask hasn't changed.
Our main message is that vaccination is effective at preventing severe illness and hospitalization. However, even if you're vaccinated, wearing a mask is a very good line of defense to make sure that even if you do end up having a breakthrough case, that you're not going to be spreading it to multiple people.
Lisa Adams, WNY News Now.
Lisa, thank you. Hammond officials say people getting vaccinated here are following good data. They can't promise you'll never get a case of COVID-19, but it should make things easier to navigate. The average price of gas in the U.S. has jumped nearly 6 cents over the last 2 weeks. This increase is bigger than any we've seen since last spring. It's the result of a price hike of crude oil. On average, Americans are paying more than $1 at the pump than they were a year ago. Here in Jamestown, gas is around $3.42 a gallon. Now that businesses have picked up, OPEC has increased production, but it lags behind on the increase it needs in forcing the price up. Now, paying more for a trip could be the new normal for a while. Well, a leader with the National Comedy Center here in Jamestown is receiving recognition for their work to keep tourism alive during the pandemic. National Comedy Center Vice President of Finance and Operations, Rochelle Mole, was recognized by the Chautauqua County Chamber of Commerce last week. Mole is credited with working behind the scenes to run the NCC and Lucille Ball Desi Arnaz Museum. For that, she has received the Chamber's Person of the Year designation. Now, in addition to Mole, Chautauqua Hospice and Palliative Care was presented with the Economic Development Award for creating the county's first hospice house. Furthermore, Jamestown Chamber of Commerce awarded Lou Deppis its Community Service Award for his work in the community, focusing on his time as the Board of Directors of the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame, Jamestown YMCA, and the NCC. Certainly great congratulations to all of those there. Let us know what you guys think about this story and more in the comment section down below. We always love to hear from you. It's great to see Patricia. Good to see Dawn, Ed, Doug, Linda, and Donna on this Tuesday afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us here on Facebook Live. And for those of you who are watching us on our live stream on WNYNewsNow.com, our mobile app if you haven't downloaded it already, or channel 716 on Roku. Well, now let's get a first check of our weather forecast. It's where we find Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. And boy, Chautauqua Lake looking beautiful today, Dakota.
Yes, we have just a few clouds in the sky right now overlooking the Chautauqua Lake Association Skycam. And this is pretty much going to be the story through the day. We're going to see the clouds starting to thicken up through the day. So the sunshine that we have right now is ultimately going to be kind of shaded by some clouds later on in the day. You can actually see the clouds starting to come in here on the satellite and radar composite here, but we're going to stay dry through much of the day. The next chance of rain is not going to be until towards the evening hours. We'll actually time that out on FutureScan a little bit later on, but it's going to be a nice day today, so get out and enjoy it. We managed 73 yesterday. We started the day at 58. We'll talk about the records a little bit later on, close to it today, but yeah, I don't think we'll break it here in the city, but some spots dangerously close. 74 to 81 today. What month is this? I mean, I don't think Mother Nature knows. The clouds increase near record high temperatures. South wind 7 to 18. Now, as we go into tomorrow, we turn a little bit cooler for the end of the week, plus a big change coming our way for the weekend into early next week. We'll talk about where those temperatures are going in just a few minutes. Justin.
All right. I hope more fall air is on the way, Dakota. You'll let us know. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer was in Western New York yesterday, talking about President Biden's infrastructure bill and his push to expand and strengthen rural internet. Schumer, during a stop in Allegheny County, touted his efforts in D.C. Specifically, he says rural communities are struggling to find high-speed internet access. In Allegheny County alone, only 23% of residents out of just over 10,000 people have access. He is pushing for billions of dollars to fix the internet gaps. In addition, he also wants to make sure that internet is affordable, allocating $14 billion to help qualified households. Well, New York's Home Energy Assistant Program, also known as HEAP, is now available for Western New Yorkers. HEAP helps residents pay for the cost of heating their homes. Eligibility is different for all those who apply, which is based on their current conditions, including income, type of heating, and age. Those eligible could receive one HEAP benefit per year, or they could be eligible for emergency benefits if there is a danger of running out of fuel or utility shutoff. For more information, check out the state's website at otda.ny.gov. Coming up, the latest in a Warren murder case and what court changes now are in place. And later, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We hear from a woman who is making it her mission to help others detect the disease. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Welcome to Honest John's Pizzeria, where you are the most important customer.
Everything from freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has it all.
And don't forget the ice cream!
Order online today or check out our 2 great locations with buffets ready for every appetite.
Don't I have the best job in the world?
Located along the Amish Trail, the Randolph Retail Company offers a variety of clothing, jewelry, and gifts for any occasion. Offering uptown merchandise at small-town prices, our locally owned business balances quality and value. With complimentary gift wrap here at the Randolph Retail Company, we pride ourselves in personal service. Check out our Facebook page or stop in today at 127 Main Street, Randolph, just a 20-minute drive from Jamestown.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
The trial for a Pennsylvania man charged with murder was moved to December. Court records obtained by WNY News Now show that 57-year-old Haggard Stephen Brewer will now stand trial on December 6th in Warren County Court. The trial for criminal homicide, third-degree murder, and voluntary manslaughter was scheduled for this past week. Troopers were called to a Spring Creek Township residence around 7:30 the evening of March 29th for a reported shooting. State police say that at the scene they found 57-year-old Victor Vancentelli III fatally shot. No further details were released publicly. Bird is behind bars without bail in Warren County Prison, and he's being represented by Warren attorney Robert David Kinnear. Well, what happened to Gabby Petito? Today, we might get some answers about how the 22-year-old died, but as Britt Conway reports, her family thinks one person has all the answers, if police can find him.
I knew she was gone. As a mom, I knew she was gone.
Gabby Petito was found dead in Teton County, Wyoming last month. The FBI said the manner of death is homicide. But how? It's a question the coroner may answer today when he shares the results of Petito's autopsy. But other answers might not come until police find her fiancé, Brian Laundrie, who returned home to Florida from their cross-country trip without her more than a week before she was reported missing. Then he went missing too. Laundrie's parents say he told them he was going to a Florida nature reserve. Police say they'd been monitoring him as best they could before he vanished, but at that point, Laundrie hadn't been charged with anything.
I mean, the guy goes for a walk in the Carlton Reserve. He's not wanted for a crime. I mean, what are we supposed to do? We're going to go tree to tree, following him back through the woods? I mean, you know, it just wasn't there with the information we had in this case.
Now, Laundrie is the subject of a federal arrest warrant accusing him of using someone else's debit card. So if they find him, now they can take him in. But police say they haven't found any physical signs of him, and none of the tips from the public have panned out.
He's the key. He's the key to the puzzle.
Yeah, what happened out there? You know, until they find him, we won't know.
We believe he knows everything.
I'm Britt Conway reporting.
Britt, thank you. The Biden administration urged the courts again yesterday to step in and suspend a new Texas law that has banned most abortions since early September. The latest attempt comes 3 days after the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals reinstated the nation's most restrictive abortion law after a brief 48-hour window last week in which Texas abortion providers, following a blistering ruling by a lower court, had rushed to bring in patients again. The days ahead could now be key in determining the immediate future of this law, known as Senate Bill 8, including whether there is another attempt to have the U.S. Supreme Court weigh in. The law bans abortions in Texas once cardiac activity is detected, which is usually about 6 weeks and before some women even know they're pregnant. No other GOP-controlled states had similar early bans on abortions blocked by courts. The Texas law has proved durable because the state offloads enforcement solely onto private citizens who can collect at least $10,000 in damages if they successfully sue abortion providers. Well, an event to celebrate coming out stories during National LGBTQ History Month is happening in Jamestown this week. It's hosted by Jamestown Pride in collaboration with the Fenton Historical Society and the Robert H. Jackson Center, called the Coffee House event, happening this Friday from 7 to 9 at the Jackson Center here in downtown. The event aims to highlight stories of coming out to the LGBTQ community in Chautauqua County. Anyone is welcome to speak, and you can sign up at that event during the open mic period. In addition, there will also be other featured speakers, entertainment, coffee, and snacks from the Labyrinth Press Company. For more on the event, check out Jamestown Pride's Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Jamestown Pride. Well, let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments section down below. We love to have you here on WNY News Now as we get a check of a lot of our local headlines out there today. And if you didn't know, today's actually October, and it feels more like, I'd say, June, Dakota. Like,
yeah, I mean,
with the warmth,
right.
You can't beat it.
I mean, you know, we have these warm temperatures in place for today, and some of it is going to be very close to record-breaking warmth. Let's go in there and take a look at it. And I wanted to show you the forecast highs versus the actual records that we're going for today. So coming up right now is all of the official airport observation sites. So today we're forecasting 81 for Dunkirk. The record is 83, set back in 1954. Buffalo will likely break the record today. Forecast 80, 81 is the record back in 1893. Jamestown, we're going 76 here for the city, and the record is 83, set in 1928. So I don't think we'll break that today. And Olean will probably get close. 74 is the forecast there, with a record of 78 back in 2003. So we've got record warmth on the way, and right now temperatures are pretty warm out there. 69 right now here in town, 76 in Dunkirk, 73 Fredonia, 75 in Erie, 72 Warren, and it's also starting to feel a little bit more muggy out there. These are the current dew points. 59 is the current point here in the city, 60 in Dunkirk, 61 Fredonia, 61 Climbers. So again, when the dew point's in the 60s, that's when you start to feel the mugginess in the air, and that's going to stay in place through at least the next couple of days. So yeah, it's still going to be feeling somewhat humid out there, and in fact, the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center favors above average temperatures across all of the continental 48. But what's even more interesting is this is the precipitation outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, and notice this big area of brown here. That is basically where there is going to be below average rainfall over the next 8 to 14 days. So it's going to be a drier pattern here as we go throughout the end of the month. Snow still falling in portions of the Rocky Mountains out there. Winter storm warnings are up out there, but no snow falling around here. But what's happening here is this is a cold front that's going to be moving our way. This is going to bring us the next chance of rain later today and especially early tomorrow. So let's show it to you on Future Scan. Nothing through the day today, just a good amount of sunshine with a few clouds, but the clouds will start to thicken up as we go through the afternoon hours. Notice a couple spotty showers here. This is by around 7, 8 o'clock tonight. So do expect early showers as we go through at least the early afternoon hours. Those will start to clear out overnight, but the clouds will start to stay in place. And then as we go into tomorrow morning, we may see an early shower or sprinkle, and then otherwise just partly to mostly sunny for the day tomorrow. And we should stay dry. Temperatures still into the upper 70s tomorrow, so it's still going to be a relatively warm day. So at 2 o'clock today, 74 degrees, partly to mostly sunny. Clouds will start to thicken up, so by the time we go to 6 o'clock, 71 with a few more clouds. 10 o'clock, there could be a isolated shower around, but it still will be a nice day with temperature, or a nice night, temperatures around 65 degrees. Now, the future is going to be coming up on the screen, and 70 is our forecast for tomorrow, mainly dry on Thursday. Rain chances will increase Friday through the weekend, and take a look at temperatures returning back into the 60s. That's more like fall air for the weekend. We'll take a break. Be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
It's not just what we say, it's what we do.
Local first. It isn't just our slogan. It's our mindset every single day. So whether you're watching our daily live streams or staying up to date with reports on our website and mobile app, you'll always see the same attention to detail from reporters who passionately care about our community, who have one goal in mind: to always put the facts first.
For me, it's more than just getting the forecast right. What I love the most about my job is that I come into work every day to help break down the weather, letting people know how this is going to impact their day. We take pride that First Defense Weather is the only local weather team in the Southern Tier. We don't just copy and paste our weather from outside sources. Every part of our forecast is handmade right here in-house, something our team really takes pride in.
What matters to you matters to us. Every story, every day. WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Well, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, a time when health leaders and survivors share the importance of early screening. Many people were pushed off their routine checkups during the pandemic, but one woman that we spoke to says a routine test is what likely saved her life. Emily Potter with our news partner Erie News Now shares her story.
In February of 2020, at age 36, Sarah Johnson was diagnosed with breast cancer.
I was diagnosed with stage 2 invasive ductal carcinoma.
Her cancer was detected early at a checkup done only because the gene runs in her family. Her grandmother had breast cancer, so Sarah was more likely to get diagnosed at a young age. Doctors didn't detect anything on a mammogram, but found the breast cancer through an MRI.
We were just doing routine testing because I had the gene, so that's how we found it. So like I said, did the chemo and then did the double mastectomy and total hysterectomy.
And in August, she celebrated her 1 year being cancer-free, but says early detection is what helped her. So she stresses the importance of routine checkups and mammograms, something many people put off, especially during the pandemic.
Just hold still for me. Don't put it off. Don't say, oh, well, maybe next month. You know, I was thankful that mine wasn't ever canceled.
She says there are also ways to detect breast cancer at home, and getting comfortable with your own body is key.
If you notice any lumps, any nipple discharge, any thickening of your skin, just anything that's not normal. I mean, we know our body's best, honestly, so don't just go off of the once every 365 days some guy that doesn't, know you that well, checks.
Now, Linked by Pink has a number of community groups helping them raise money, especially this month, so they can help their members with hospital bills and grants while they're undergoing treatment. Certainly so important no matter what time of the year it is. Let us know what you guys think about this story and more in the comments down below, and connecting with us on social media using WNY News Now on all of our platforms. And I think, Dakota, when you look at any sort of cancer, and we've talked about it, whether it's breast cancer, prostate cancer, colorectal cancer, unfortunately, the list goes on and on and on. And this month last September was Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And when you look at just so many lives that are impacted by this horrible, horrible disease, I think raising awareness is an important aspect of it. And that's what so many of us over the last 2 years maybe didn't do. I know for me, one of my doctor's appointments was canceled because of COVID, and I didn't schedule it for probably another year just because I thought to myself, well, I don't want to go to a hospital right now. I wasn't comfortable with that. In the very beginning, we didn't really know what was going on. That was the last place I ever wanted to be. And it's still so important to get checked out for things like this and for pains you have and aches, because unfortunately you don't know what it could be.
Yeah, I mean, I have a history of colon cancer in my family, and I'm only 27 years old, and I've already had a colonoscopy done.
Yeah.
And, I had that done simply just because my family has a history of it, and I had a lot of stomach issues, and I wasn't sure what was going on with that. And we had it all checked out, and fortunately it wasn't colon cancer. It was just a lot of bacteria and acid reflux. So,
right.
But, it's still important to get that stuff done.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's still not fun, though. Nobody likes acid reflux. I mean, God, it feels like you're going to puke. Ugh, just the worst feeling. But good to hear you're healthy, nevertheless. And I think that's why it's almost overwhelming when you look at all the charities and things like that you can donate to. And that's why I've always been, especially when talking in the news, like, we as a news agency will never ask anybody for money or anything like that. But I think it's still important to, if you want to get involved, search up a local group, get connected with them. Callie's Crusade's one of the favorite ones that I have. That would be my go-to. But really, you can do that research on your own, and I think it's so important to get connected with. And one bit of good news through all of this is how beautiful it's outside. But Dakota, we've been talking about this, and I'd see it on the Chautauqua Lake camera. I wanted to point this out in the last couple minutes we have. The fall colors, it really does look like things are starting to get muted out there because of this heat, unfortunately.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, we talk of. And we've talked about this, how, in order for the colors to really become vibrant, we really need those cool nights. And unfortunately, we have not had that over the past 2-3 weeks. And we're not going to see cooler nights for at least a few more days, and it's not going to be until the weekend. So even though the colors are changing, they're not as vibrant as they should be because it's just been rather warm, and we haven't had a good amount of cool air at night to really allow the colors to pop. And it's not going to be a cool night tonight. 57 to 64 tonight, mostly cloudy and mild. A few early showers, but they should taper off overnight.
Yeah, definitely. If you're going to have your windows open, you'll want to watch for that. I've been running my air conditioner, as crazy as that is, but
I have a fan in my bedroom window in October. What is this?
Go figure, right? You wouldn't think of it. So
blasphemy.
We'll take it while we have it, because come January,
it's already snowing
totally
in some parts of the country right now.
Yeah, it is. God,
it's coming.
I would not want to be in the mountains of Colorado, that's for sure. Great to see Amy. Good to see Ed, Patricia, Dan. Donna saying throat cancer survivor here. God bless you, Donna. And that's the thing. It impacts so many people. And I think that's one of the things that maybe makes us stronger together, right? We've talked about that throughout COVID, is that as we work together on something like this, anything is possible. So it's pretty good. Well, that's going to do it for us today. Of course, news does continue 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. We're always on the news watch for you. And it's so easy to stay connected. You can check us out on Roku. Just search channel 716 and download that today. I guess technically you're adding it to your channel lineup. There's really no downloading necessary. I don't know. They give me too many terms, Dakota, and I don't know.
Well, it
download,
does.
subscribe,
Well,
add, do whatever you got to do.
Well, you are downloading it. So
technically, yes.
You know.
That's what they say. I don't know. I just read what text they put in front of me. Right now it says, "Shut up, Justin." I'm just kidding. All right. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a great day.